You know, Quentin, you and I were talking a little bit about this show, and you made some suggestions for movies you wanted to do. And before we get into the nitty-gritty of Dunkirk, I think we just got to start with why Dunkirk for Rewatchables episode. This is a movie that only came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, I guess it was because in the last month or so, I've been getting obsessive about making my top 10 list of the decade, of the 2010s. So I found myself watching a bunch of stuff like a second time or a third time that I hadn't watched in years, and really pitting the movies against each other. Watching things that I just missed. I'd always heard they were good. And it was in watching Dunkirk a third time, making my top 10 list, that I think I had it preliminary at 7, and it jumped up to number 2.
Wow.
After I saw it the third time. So when we started talking about different movies to see, that was definitely one that I had just completely brand new, fresh passion for. And frankly, I'm not that used to being that passionate about a movie that new. So,
yeah.
And I actually thought it would be great as a rewatchable. And I didn't even have a whole like spiel to say about it either. So that's one of the things I thought would be kind of fun to just really explore.
What else has aged the best?
Well, frankly, I would say the number one thing that has aged the best is, I think, the concept of Chris Nolan's virtuosity. It's like this, to me, I can understand if you guys think that Dark Knight is his apex mountain. To me, this is his apex mountain, because this is where he really dealed himself in, aside from Gotham City, and aside from science fiction, and aside from the San Diego Comic-Con crowd, all right, to being a great filmmaker and dealing with a big subject, and brought Warner Brothers along with him in the exact way Stanley Kubrick would have done. Bringing Warner Brothers along with them. And they backed him 100%.
And yeah, if you look at Interstellar, this film, and then Tenet, which is his movie coming out next year, you've got 3 wholly original stories from big studios with big budgets that people are excited about and were eager to see. They were eager to see Interstellar. They were very eager to see Dunkirk, which is kind of impressive, the amount of people who got to see this. And then Tenet, we'll see what we get. Chris, what else has aged the best?
I mean, I agree with him. It's hard to imagine this movie being imitated or topped. It does feel like it could only have been made by him, and it could only have been told in the way that he told it. If you try to rearrange the movie in your head and say, okay, what would happen if you would cut it in a more linear fashion? It actually doesn't hold together as a gripping story the way it does, the way he tells it. It's a special kind of storytelling. It's only could have been done by him.
Maybe the greatest shot in war movie history. Boom, 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 boom. You know, them dropping the bombs with him in the foreground.
Help us understand how that happened. That is one of those rare shots where when you see it, you're like, I don't get how he did that.
There are multiple shots in this movie that I was going to say, like, please help me understand how anybody can make that shot happen. Like dogfight shots where the camera is still. And I'm just like, I don't get it. How did this happen?
Well, it's like, I think, one of the things about Nolan is, you know, if he can do it in real life, he's going to do it. If he can do it practically, where all he has to do is send it to the lab afterwards, that's how he's going to do it. That's what makes it a good shot, as opposed to a paint set that you can paint anything you want. So things might have been sweetened later, but I would imagine that, you know, he put the kid on the ground, he created his frame, and then created a series of explosions that got closer and closer and closer. And my guess is he probably had a dummy for the guy that explodes, but he animated it later after the fact.
That was my feeling. It would be hard to do this without just a little sprinkle of touching at the end. But it is incredibly effective.
But he has about 4 or 5 just of great shots of an artist, of a great director, whether it's like when the ships are tilting and the weird angle that he gets that shows the ship tilting and the water rushing in. I mean, he just keeps doing that all the time. He keeps making it an artistic experience. Even in something like Saving Private Ryan, all the great shots that blow you away are all in that opening section, which is just amazing.
The siege.
But I don't remember any of the shots afterwards. You know, they're just kind of telling the story from that point on.